I remember walking into an interview a couple of years ago, and something that I really think is a good quality about myself and definitely a skill set is how I present myself in interviews, and I have good communication skills and I'm passionate when I speak. So I was ready to rock this interview, but I got a question that really threw me for a loop. I didn't know how to answer it, and the question was, tell me about your brand. And I probably looked just like that. And I don't recall what I said. Hopefully I was quick and witty and came up with something right on the spot. But that question really made me think after the interview, what is my brand? What sets me apart from everybody else? And for a while, or initially, I think when I thought about what is my brand, well, I show up to work every day. I always give 110%. My colleagues can rely on me. All of these things that perhaps they do help, cultivate an overall brand holistically, but most people come to work. Most people are willing to help others. All of the things that I just said, I would say the majority of people also strive or do as well. So it's not really my personal brand. Those are just attributes. So I had to think about what really sets me apart. And sometimes you're going to come up empty-handed, such as I did. I had a brand, but it needed to be developed, and I had to do tangible actions in order to develop and grow what I wanted my reputation to be from others, from my management and leadership, from my customers, from my colleagues. It takes time and effort and deliberative actions in order to build a personal brand. So we touched upon what a brand is, but why is it important? Essentially, it's going to define your career path forward. I've had opportunities that have come to me because of the personal brand that I'm building for myself. I have huge passions in being creative and thinking outside of the box, such as making a LinkedIn video on what a personal brand is, right? So for me, other areas or business functions, seeing my materials via social media or blogs that I might have written, there's so many different outlets that you can extend to when they reach out to me, because my reputation is, oh, she's very creative, or she's a subject matter expert in this or that. Once you build your brand, it does work for you, right? So you're not out there having to tell people all the time, this is my skill set and this is what I'm good at. Your brand is going to speak for itself and speak for you. So it's really important to figure out who you are and what makes you you, in this sense as a employee or colleague or leader. So what are some things that you can do to build or build upon your existing brand? The first thing that I want to really stress is that you have to be accountable for yourself and for your brand. We are all going to have circumstances that happen to us, opportunities that were passed upon, things that are not fair, adversities. And so you can take the road of, well, it's really hard to build a brand when I don't have opportunities or whatever it is. Or you can take ownership and accountability and say, well, regardless of the things that were dealt to me or the situations that I have or haven't been a part of, I'm going to choose to develop myself and my brand just with who I am and what I have within hand's reach right now. So really hold yourself accountable. Don't place excuses on why you can't cultivate a positive and impactful brand, because you can. So with that, there are a couple of to-dos or things that I've done that have helped me, and I did do some research before deciding to make this video just to make sure the things that I were saying did align with a lot of the advice that's currently out there, which it did, so we're on a good track there. Being available to others will be a very quick win and boost to your brand. If you aspire to be a leader or a trusted partner or a customer success superstar. I work in the customer success field, so hence that example. Whatever it is that you want to be the best at or known for, you really have to be able to connect with others and offer insight and support and a listening ear. It really boils down just to being a good, helpful colleague. Volunteer for unfun tasks. So there's always going to be duties and responsibilities that somebody needs to be responsible for, and maybe it's not up for discussion, but if it's not up for discussion, why can't you still go and offer to help with whatever it might be? I mean, does that not show initiative? Does that not show that you are really willing to take on these unfun duties that are very necessary, but other people may not raise their hand or speak up to address? That's going to differentiate you and show that you are really driven to do the things, whether they are fun or not fun, in order to meet that common goal that you have with your team and your company. Bring your own ideas to the table. I can't tell you how many meetings I sit in and we'll spend 30 minutes or an hour talking about a process change or a new process altogether, whatever it is. And at the end, there's 10 minutes for Q&A, and it's like, what do you guys think about this? What's your opinion? And it's so often quiet. And I think I've become known as the person that always will speak up. And something I've worked on as I've tried to develop my leadership skills is I don't always need to have a word in conversation. I think that I do it mostly to fill the awkwardness, or if I speak up first, then somebody else will continue on. So, it's kind of twofold, but don't be afraid to bring your ideas to the table. Or if you have an unpopular opinion, maybe you say, you know what, I don't think that this is a good idea. Here's why. Or I'm going to try what you asked me to do for 2 weeks and bring my input back so we can talk about it, because I think that perhaps there's a better idea or another way. I mean, the opportunities are endless in how you can get engaged and involved in your industry, and that's going to show others and leadership and other thought leaders that you have a seat at the table too. So understanding your industry, where it is currently, where it's headed, where are the gaps in knowledge and the barriers, how can you help foster a conversation of brainstorming and innovation? These things are core to your personal brand. So I recommend that you start getting involved in the different outlets as you can. And people, before long, you'll be getting emails in your LinkedIn with, can you talk to me? I would like a career in this field. Or would you like to come and speak at our next engagement? You seem very passionate about what you do. Those are the kind of opportunities that are, make you feel good inside and will help continue to build your career path forward. So definitely get involved in the areas that you can. So I talked about a couple of the ideas that you could do today to help continue to build your brand. As I was doing some research in preparation of making this video, I did a quick Google search about how to build your brand, and of course a more retail-driven example appeared, and I read through the different steps, and I said, this could absolutely apply to a personal brand as well. So I just wanted to give that as a quick example. So it says, number 1, research your target audience and your competitors. Obviously, that's going to be important for you as you build your brand, because you need to know who is it that's going to be seeing your brand? Who are you trying to attract? What are your aspirations? Where do you want to get to? And are you and your brand showing that you are deserving and the right fit for wherever you're aspiring to be? So understanding who your audience is obviously important. And obviously your competition, which are often going to be your colleagues. So they're your competition, and this is a whole nother video in itself versus being, a competitor, an individual contributor versus a team player and a leader bringing everyone up. I honestly think that you can be both, but understanding who your competition is will also help you identify the areas that you need to differ on. The second step is pick your focus and your personality. We talked quite a bit about that. Depending on what you want to do with your career and your life is going to depend what brand you build for yourself. I personally aspire to become a customer success leader, and I'm not sure in what capacity that looks like yet, but I know of the skill set and the experience and the traits that are needed or that I see in leaders that I want to have that same level of respect and appreciation. So understanding that is my focus and the personality that I need to get there. Obviously, you need to be able to communicate well with others and have a sense of compassion and curiosity. And I could go on and on about all of those traits, but those are things that you need to write down and understand. You know, yes, we need to build a brand for ourselves, but what really are we looking for? There needs to be specific so you understand the things that you need to do to get there. Number 3 is to choose your business name. Well, that one was quite easy because my mother chose it for me. So that really is who you are as a person. Some people go by nicknames. I'm quite fine with my name. Number 4 is to write your slogan. So this, I think, is a great exercise to do for yourself. Oftentimes, teams will get together and they'll think of the group slogan or their values of who they are and what they believe in. So I thought about this for a quick second. I said, what would my slogan be for my brand? And I came up with an outcome-focused partner with a sense of curiosity, perceptiveness, and follow-through. So for me, those are the things that I feel are most relevant or important in the work that I do. And that's what I want others to perceive me as. Next is choose the look of your brand, colors and fonts. So this is fun because this is where your personality really shines through. So we're all people at the end of the day, you know, and we might have a work persona and a home persona. But to be able to mesh the two is going to be a more authentic you. So not a whole lot of advice here other than you don't need to pretend to be something that you're not. And oftentimes your quirkiness or your witty sense of humor, sometimes borderline inappropriate, guilty, those things really that make you slash together with your work persona really make for a good brand. So don't forget to bring your personality to work with you as well. Next we have apply your branding across your business and evolve it as you grow. And that's essentially the point of having a personal brand is applying it, right, to your day-to-day work. So those opportunities do come knocking. So somebody walks up to you and they say, "Hi, Bethany, it's so-and-so." And you said, you know, should I know them? Did I forget who they were? You don't know who they are, but they know who you are because they've seen you or they've heard about you and they're excited to talk with you and work with you. I hope that you've gotten something out of this video. We talked about what a brand is, why it's important, and some ideas on how you can continue to build upon your current brand. I would love to hear if you have a slogan for yourself, and if you don't, maybe spend a minute thinking about it and posting it below. What sets you apart from everybody else? What is your personal brand? Look forward to connecting. Thanks.